you're going to be here today, right? Everyone's really looking forward to seeing you here since it's been such a long time now. They all want to see what kind of horrible wife you've become after spending all that time avoiding everyone here. Why would you say something like that? Have I done anything wrong? I'm just speaking the truth is all. We all know that you don't care at all about your in-laws and that you'd rather be off on your own, only taking care of yourself, right? But thankfully, I am a very kind and thoughtful mother-in-law, which means that I'm going to forgive you for all of that. And to make sure you understand just how kind of a woman I am, I made sure that today everyone would be eating high-end filet mignon. And that's why all of my family is really looking forward to this gathering and to seeing you here. Since you're Brandon's wife, you're going to be filling your stomach up on all kinds of high-end salts, all right? What do you mean by that? Well, you never seem to be able to take a hint. You're nothing like the rest of my family, all right? It would be a waste of money letting you eat some of the finest meats that I can buy. So the only thing a stranger like you will be eating today is the steak salts that everyone else could care less about. Really? Did you just call me a stranger? Yes, I did. A terrible wife like yourself means nothing to my family, and that's why we can't even think of you as part of us. Ugh, why did my son ever end up marrying a woman like you in the first place? Besides, the fact that his wife is completely useless, he's a perfect man. Is that right? Then forget about your allowance. What? If you're going to say that I'm not your family or anything anymore, then there's no reason for me to really be sending you any more money. Huh? What are you talking about? To me, you're nothing more than a stranger, but to you, your in-laws should all still be considered your family. That's just common sense, right? So you have the responsibility as my son's wife to keep that money coming to us. I completely understand your way of thinking, Patty, so please allow me to go and have a word with Adam about this. Sure, go ahead. But that's not going to change anything for you. That boy will understand my way of thinking completely and won't let you get away with such a lawless action. Anyway, you'd better be at this family gathering today, May. Adam, where are you right now?
I just finished up getting some things from the grocery store, and I'll be on my way home. What's going on?
I was just texting with your mom a second ago.
My mom, huh? I'm sure this isn't going to be good then, right?
Well, she started off by asking me if I'd be making it to the family gathering today. But then soon after that, she made it very clear to me that I'm not considered family to her.
Huh? She went that far with you now?
Yeah. She told me that to make her family all happy, she went and bought a bunch of really expensive filet mignon. But since she doesn't see me as a part of the family, the only thing I'll be allowed to eat is the steak salt.
Do you want to just stay home from that stupid event?
Honestly, I really don't want to go to that stupid event. But if I don't show up this time, then things will only become worse the next time around, right? I was being honest this whole time about having to work all the time and never being able to attend those gatherings. So this time I should actually go. I think the reason she said something like that to me, about me not being a family to her, is because I haven't been going out to see anyone recently. Maybe it was just meant as a joke or something.
Well, if that was meant to be a joke from her, it was not a very funny one. But if you're saying that you'd like to go this time, then I guess we're going. I myself haven't really been going home to my parents all that much recently. I'd like to go see them and check on how things are going there.
Check on how things are going? Just in general?
You know better than I do that there are plenty of things wrong with my mom, right? I want to go and check to see if she's been telling the truth at all to the rest of the family or if she's still hiding all her problems. In the past, lots of people have been hurt by what she was doing, so I just have to make sure things aren't getting bad again.
Is that right?
Well, I guess today we're really heading over to my parents' house then. But if there's anything that makes you want to go home while we're there, let me know right away. Then we can get the heck out of there.
Mary, you really have no guts, do you? Getting picked on by your mother-in-law is something you need to deal with as my son's wife. What were you thinking showing up here today only to turn right back around and leave like that? Are you trying to make me look bad in front of the rest of my family? I never thought that you'd actually have a plate ready for me at the dinner table filled with nothing but garlic salt. Everyone else had a nice steak and vegetables on their plates, yet I had nothing more than salt and a shot glass filled with water. What you've done hasn't only pissed me off, but it's upset your own son now as well. And when Adam starts to get upset like that, your job as his wife is to make him settle down, right? You really are so useless, always blaming others for your own faults.
Could you tell me why you always have to treat me like this, Patty?
Well, there's not any kind of deep meaning to it, actually. I just happen to not really like you at all. I had made such a fine young man, and you came out of nowhere and completely ruined him. I don't want some thief like you becoming a part of my family, so why should I have to cater to you when it's so much easier just to treat you like said thief? Also, the reason my son never comes around his own parents anymore is because of you, right? Who is the real menace to this family, I wonder?
I do apologize for all the times I've not been able to come out to see you all, but all of those times I had really been busy with work and could not afford to leave that work behind. However, just because of that, you've gone and treated me like a complete stranger? Actually, much worse than a complete stranger. And now you've just gone and done it in front of everyone else in the family. I really don't want to say something like this to you, Patty, but that money you're being given every month is the money I've worked countless hours for.
What was that? So now you're going to try to play the victim here? The only reason I gave you all that salt was because you've been getting a little plump lately. You should be very thankful that I was so thoughtful today, yet for some reason, you don't seem to care at all for my thoughts on your figure.
Well, if that was really the case, then why salt of all things? Wouldn't that only make me fatter in the end? Ugh, I'm done with this, Patty. It seems that no matter what I say, no matter what I do, your way of thinking is not going to change.
Would you stop trying to play things off like I'm the one in the wrong here?
Since you're no longer going to view me as part of your family, I'd like you to stop contacting me from now on. So please leave me alone. If you ever need anything from us or have something to say, bring it up with Brandon.
Oh, running away from us again, I see. Well, that's totally fine with me. As long as you keep that money coming to me, I won't say another word to you. Excuse me, this month's allowance has still not entered my bank account at all, not even $1. Did I forget to mention to you that it is your responsibility to be sending me that money each and every month since you're Adam's wife? If you're not going to keep up with your responsibilities, then I'm going to have you divorced from my son.
Now this is just what I remember, but I believe that last time I told you that I'd stop sending you money from now on, right? Or did I perhaps forget to say that to you?
I don't ever remember you saying something like that to me. And had you, I would most definitely have said no to that.
Let me ask you something, Patty. Could you please tell me why exactly I have to keep sending you an allowance each month? Because I don't quite remember what the reason was, if there even is one.
You don't remember? My reason is because you're my son's wife. And your primary job as his wife is to shut up and listen to what his mother tells you.
Then can you please explain to me why over time you've been asking for more and more money from me?
What?
At the start you were only asking for around $400 a month from me. But over time you continued to ask for more and more until it came to around $1,500 a month. Do you really need that much money from me?
I told you this already. There are still some payments left over on the loan we took out when we had part of the house reformed. And with my husband's income only, there were parts of our life that we felt a little uncomfortable because we were so close to not having enough money.
I heard that reason from you before, but are you really only using this money I'm giving you on paying off that loan?
What are you trying to say?
Well, it's just, ever since I started to send you money each month, you've become more and more outgoing and overbearing. Also, you've been trying so hard to not let your husband know anything about the money I'm sending to you. You must have another reason for why you need this money from me, and one that would upset your husband very much if he were to find out, right?
There's no reason like that. But you never say anything about this to him. You still understand that, right?
Well, that's too bad because I've already brought it up with him.
What did you just say? I have told you again and again not to say anything about this to him. You really are completely useless to me.
Well, let me just say, it wasn't me that went to him about all of this. He realized that something was up and came to me asking some questions about it all. He said that he noticed how much more flashy your choice of clothing had become and wanted to know from me if there was anything going on with you. He then said to me that if there is anything going on between you and my family regarding money, to let him know about it.
So then you told him about that allowance?
I did. It's the truth after all. And then, after telling him about that money I've been giving you, he started to tell me some things that I had no idea about. There has never been a point this whole time your husband has been paying off that loan where you've handed him any money to help pay it off. So let me ask you one last time. Where is that money I give you every month going? You lied to me about that helping pay off the loan, all so that you could milk all that money off me, right?
Recently, I've been wondering why he's been so cold around me. So this has all been because of you, huh?
Don't start blaming me for your issues, Patty. Anyhow, I'm not going to be sending you any more money for the time being, as I do not support you going out and wasting it on things that are not related to your husband in the house.
So you have no idea what could happen to you by turning your back on me and not listening to what I've said. I'm going to make sure you and Adam are no more. No matter what it is, this is all your fault. I've now gone and lost my son, who once loved me more than anyone else. And now a lot of people in my family are no longer talking to me and will only roll their eyes when I try and talk to them. Had you just stayed in line, never complaining about anything I was doing and listened to me, none of this would be happening. How dare you cause my life to fall into ruins?
Patty, you're still whining about how all of this is my fault? So none of what Adam was telling you about actually made it into that thick head of yours?
Huh? I don't want to hear any of that from you now, especially since you're the bitch who went and took everything from me.
Honestly, Patty, shut the hell up. I am utterly tired of listening to you go on and on about how this is all my fault and that you could never be responsible for making everyone want to hate you. Do you still think that I know nothing about the kind of indecent witch you are deep down? I know about all the things you did to your son as he was growing up, and I have to say it really pisses me off thinking that I still have to talk with you.
What? Tell me what was so bad about the things I did that you'd be pissed off with me. All I did was act like a good mother and raise my boy into the man he is now. I will not let anyone complain about the things I did for him.
Well, that's too bad, because I'm going to complain. I'll have you know that I frickin' hate people like you. People that think they can just use other people and abuse other people and steal from them when they gain something you want. You must have no idea what it means to have some frickin' dignity, do you, Patty? My mom was the same way, as a matter of fact. One massive bully that I never wanted anything to do with but was forced to live under for years. Whenever I did something amazing, she'd always say it was because of her. She would always tell me to listen to what she says, no matter how ignorant and wrong it was. And when I messed up, she would tell me I was no good and that I was embarrassing not only her, but everyone in the family. You and my mom both seem to mistake your child's love for your own, and that's so upsetting to me.
I completely understand what your mother is talking about and feeling.
I'm sure you frickin' do. Both of you share that same single brain cell. I'm sure neither of you have ever thought about your own kids, have you? And that's why your own kids have had to fight for their life to fix their ways of thinking. It took me years to get over the fact that I was more than my mom's puppet and that my wants and needs mattered too.
The only reason you ended up having issues like that in the first place is because you're not good enough for this world. Maybe you needed to grow a pair and actually live up to your mom's expectations.
Well, I'm sure you could say something like that, but that's totally fine. Here's how things are going to end here. Patty, you're going to be kicked out of your husband's house, so please begin preparing yourself for the big move out of there.
Huh? What do you mean I'm being kicked out of his house?
Your husband is planning to divorce you now, Patty. And as everyone seems to recall, it's your husband that owns that house, right? So that means after the divorce, you will no longer be allowed to live there anymore.
Wait, why do I have to be the one getting divorced here, and why do I have to be the one getting kicked out of this house?
You don't know why? Interesting. Because from what I'm aware of, you have been using all the money I've sent you to lavish yourself. You've also used some of it to get yourself a younger boyfriend, right? You also ended up borrowing some money from a loan shark because I wasn't giving you all you needed to afford that lifestyle.
I was planning to pay it all back. So you can't call that money borrowed. I'm not in any debt.
Oh, so there's no excuse for you paying another man to take you out?
That's because to me, I'm not actually paying him to go out with me. He and I are in love now.
Honestly, I can't tell if that's a joke or not, but that's not my problem. How about you go and tell your husband about that now and see what he thinks of it? I'm sure he'd love to find out that you're in love with a younger man you've been paying to take you out now. Anyway, your husband has also noticed some of your shared money being used up, so he's made sure to count that all up as well. And he's going to make sure you pay him back that amount.
No way. Arya, can you please do something to set my husband straight? I'm sure if you go to him saying that what I've done wasn't all that bad, that he'll listen to you and stop trying to get this divorce.
Oh, have you forgotten already? I'm not your family. You said it yourself that I'm nothing more than a complete stranger to you. So I'm sorry to say this to you, but I am not that kind of a stranger. I know some are willing to do a lot for others that they don't know, but I don't have that kind of heart in me.
No. What should I do here then?
Well, I think the first thing you should start to do is find yourself a new place to move to. How does that sound?
Can you at least get my son to think about cutting ties with me? My husband is going to throw me away and my own son wants to cut ties to me.
Brandon is the one who decided that he doesn't want you as his mom anymore, so I have no right trying to say anything to him about that choice. Now, it's getting to be that time where I need to head back into work. Don't talk to me ever again, Patty.
Please, just listen to what I'm saying to you. Do something about this, please.
After Patty divorced her husband, her life took a downward turn. She lost her home as her husband forced her out of the house. Left with no place to go, Patty clung to the hope that someone in the neighborhood might take her in, convinced of her charm and believing herself to be an exceptional woman. She began knocking on doors, asking her neighbors for shelter. However, her past arrogance worked against her. Patty has always been the type to flaunt her son's accomplishments, treating him like a trophy to showcase at every opportunity. This behavior has earned her the disdain of nearly everyone in the neighborhood. On top of that, rumors about her personal life circulated among the residents. Many knew about the man that she had been paying to date her and the romantic feelings she harbored for him. These revelations only deepened the animosity towards her. Consequently, no one wanted to offer her any help or even engage in a conversation about her plight. Faced with rejection from everyone, Patty realized she couldn't stay in the area and decided to leave. Desperate, she turned to her family and returned to her parents' home, a place she hadn't visited in nearly a decade. Her arrival, however, was met with suspicion. Her relatives were wary of her sudden reappearance and questioned the reason behind her divorce. Due to their curiosity, no one confronted her directly or sought an explanation. Instead, they kept their distance and regulated her to living in the basement, isolated and humiliated. Patty withdrew from the world. She stopped seeing the young man she had once claimed to love and chose to shut herself in, rarely venturing outside. Meanwhile, my own life with Adam has improved significantly. With less stress, I've been able to refocus my energy on work, which is already paying off. I'm on track for a promotion, and Adam is also striving for a similar advancement in his career. We've both been busy with our jobs and haven't spent much time at home lately. However, we have a shared goal. Once we're both in stable, higher positions within our companies, we plan to slow down and focus on starting a family of our own. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Keith, can I ask you something? Why are Bailey and her 5 kids running wild in our guest room?
Oh, Heather, what's wrong? Didn't I tell you? When I mentioned that our honeymoon would be at a luxury hotel in Jamaica with a suite, Bailey's kids got really excited and insisted on coming along. And of course that means Bailey had to come too. So I booked them an additional room at the same hotel.
That is not what I'm asking about. My question is why your childhood friend and her 5 kids have joined us on our honeymoon, a trip that's supposed to be just the 2 of us.
Oh, that! They wanted to come along, so I thought, why not? I figured it'd be fun for them. Right now, they're having a bit of fun in our room just for the experience of seeing a suite. But don't worry, they're not actually staying in our room. They'll be in a separate one, so relax.
Excuse me, what?
Hey, come on, even though Bailey's my childhood friend, she knows not to interrupt our honeymoon nights together. I mean, Bailey's considerate like that, you know?
If she were truly considerate, she wouldn't have tagged along on our honeymoon in the first place, especially bringing 5 poorly behaved kids along with her. This is beyond inconsiderate.
Whoa, poorly behaved? That's a bit harsh, don't you think?
Harsh? Just look around. The bed, which was neatly made, is now a disaster. The flowers on the vase are all over the floor, and there's water spilled everywhere. Not to mention, they raided the minibar, with juice and snacks all eaten up and wrappers scattered around. The mess is so bad we'll have to call housekeeping to clean it up. I can only imagine what the hotel staff will think when they see this chaos. It's downright embarrassing.
They're kids, Heather. You can't expect them to be perfect. Cut them a little slack.
Cut them slack? Leaving this mess is just irresponsible, and you know the hotel won't just turn a blind eye to it. Someone needs to teach them what's unacceptable behavior, and I'm pretty sure that big wine stain on the carpet is from Bailey herself. This isn't just about being considerate. This is definitely going to get us a warning from the hotel.
Oh, come on, it's our honeymoon. Relax a little and don't stress over every detail. Having my childhood friend and her 5 kids along for the trip makes things lovely, don't you think?
Keith, let me ask you something. Are you deliberately trying to make me angry?
What? Why would you think that?
I see now. You genuinely haven't thought this through, haven't you?
Oh, speaking of which, since Bailey has 5 kids, you can imagine the cost of travel is high for her. She's been wanting to take a break from parenting and have a chance to unwind, so I told her that we'd cover the costs and help with looking after the kids. You don't mind helping out, right? It's good practice.
Excuse me? What are you expecting me to do here?
Think of it as a chance to practice looking after kids, you know, for the future.
What? You're actually expecting me to spend our honeymoon practicing by taking care of someone else's children. Have you completely lost your mind?
Hey, Bailey isn't just someone else, she's my childhood friend. She's practically family.
Well, to me, she's just another person and a stranger at that.
If you really hate looking after the kids, you can always go home, you know. Just kidding, just kidding. Hey, come on, this is Jamaica. Let's just make the best of it and have a great time all together. Hey, Heather, where'd you go? You know, the dinner reservation time has already passed, so, well, it would have been a waste to just cancel it, right? I ended up having the meal with Bailey instead. Hope you don't mind. Just kidding, kind of. But seriously, it almost feels like Bailey and I are on a honeymoon of our own. Isn't that funny? Come on, Heather, where'd you run off to? Hurry up and get back here. You know Bailey's kids are still here and they need someone to keep an eye on them. You don't really have much time to relax, do you? Hey, Heather, are you serious? Get back here already! Bailey's 5 kids who you're supposed to be helping with are completely out of control! At this rate, neither Bailey nor I can enjoy this honeymoon trip.
Oh, so now it's practically you and Bailey's honeymoon, is it?
What? No, of course not, but it's your fault this is happening. You're the one being stubborn and refusing to come back. And Bailey? She's just being a good friend by keeping me company since my wife decided to disappear on our honeymoon.
Let me get this straight. You're blaming me for not wanting to put up with a honeymoon that includes someone else's kid. A friend you invited along without even asking me. The fact that you and Bailey are enjoying yourselves without questioning how strange this all is, that's just mind-boggling to me.
Listen, just come back, okay? Bailey's kids are, honestly, a handful, and it's too much for us to manage on our own.
Actually, I've already gone home.
Wait, what? Are you serious?
You really haven't noticed that my suitcase wasn't in the room.
What? Are you kidding me right now? So you're actually back home already?
Yeah. Last night, I stayed at a 24-hour fast food joint and took the first available flight home this morning.
Are you out of your mind? What were you even thinking?
What do you mean?
I mean the payment! Bailey's room and her 5 kids' rooms were all part of the bill! I covered the whole amount up front, figuring you'd pitch in later to pay me back. Right now my wallet's totally empty. And obviously I expected you to cover any additional expenses at checkout. I don't even have spending money left for myself.
So you just assumed that I'd be covering all of that? Look, for one, you never even told me Bailey and her kids would be joining us. And on top of that, my budget is nowhere near big enough to fund this whole fiasco. That hotel charges a minimum of $300 per night. Sure, kids cost less than adults, and the cost per person might go down if they're all in the same room. But still, you can't seriously think I'd pay Bailey and her kids' travel expenses for absolutely no fucking reason.
That's what I thought you'd cover as a thank you for the parenting practice you'd get with Bailey's kids.
I never asked to practice parenting in the first place.
What, don't you want kids of our own?
Excuse me?
Think of this as a dry run, you know, a practice session for when we have our own. It's a good chance for you.
Are you seriously bringing this up now?
Well, you're gonna have kids one way or another, aren't you?
Whether or not that's true, it's still absurd to practice parenting by looking after someone else's children without any preparation. Does that really sound normal to you?
What's wrong with that?
Let me spell it out. Expecting someone who has no real experience in child rearing to practice on actual kids is like treating them as some kind of experiment.
Wait, what?
Think about it. Don't you know why childcare is a profession that requires certification and training? It's because people with no knowledge or experience shouldn't just jump in and practice on real children. Just because we're not hiring a certified caretaker doesn't mean it's okay to impose this on someone who isn't prepared.
Wait, really? It's like that?
Yes, and while some parents might dump their kids on others without a second thought, that doesn't make it okay. If Bailey is that kind of mother, then I suppose this whole situation starts to make sense.
Heather! Hey, about the money, can you send it over quickly?
What?
Didn't I tell you my wallet's completely empty? I was just about to check out of the hotel thinking I'd finally head home, but then they hit me with all these additional charges for other services. When I asked for a breakdown, they explained that Bailey's been going wild with all sorts of hotel services, spa treatments, room service, everything, and somehow it's all being billed to me. I don't know why I'm on the hook for Bailey's expenses when I thought you'd be covering what she spent on this trip. So yeah, please, I need money.
Keith, I've been thinking about this for a while, but don't you think you're a little too comfortable relying on someone else's wallet?
What? We're married. Isn't that totally normal?
It is absolutely not normal for you to expect me to cover expenses for Bailey and her kids.
Can we not get into whose wallet should cover what right now? This isn't about that. The fact is I can't check out of the hotel as things stand, and I desperately need money right now. Please, just send it over already.
Why don't you just withdraw some from your own account or use your credit card?
I didn't bring those with me.
What?
I swear, I thought I had brought everything. I was so sure I'd packed my card holder. You know, the one with all my cards, including my credit and debit cards. I could have sworn I put it in my travel bag, but then when I looked, it wasn't there.
Oh, this?
What?
I thought this might be what happened. So I checked around your dresser, and sure enough, I found it on the floor.
No way. Seriously? Come on, Heather, please, just send me some money. I'm really stuck here.
If you mean a bank transfer, that's impossible without your bank card, right? And since I have it here with me, that's a no-go.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Either way, I don't have any intention of sending you money for this.
This really is a dead end.
Well, if you think that's a dead end, you're about to hit an even bigger problem.
What? What do you mean?
I got a message from Bailey's husband.
Huh? Bailey's husband?
Yeah, apparently, he reached out to my contact info through your mom. He wanted to ask why they were suddenly 2 more kids. He left 3 behind when he went overseas. And now, 4 years later, after being unable to come back even once, he finds out there are 5.
Wait, he's back in the country?
Yeah, from what I heard, he made an emergency return. He heard something suspicious from a mutual acquaintance.
Well, wait, emergency? You don't mean...
Yep, he wants to discuss why 2 extra kids popped up out of nowhere in his absence, and he asked me to meet him with my parents for a little talk.
Oh, hey, wait!
And after that, I'll be heading straight to my parents' house. Consider me gone.
Damn it! Now I've had to ask my parents to send me cash in an envelope just to get home! And then, as soon as I managed to make it back, I got scolded hard for taking Bailey and her kids on our honeymoon!
Are you still planning to lie about this?
What?
So, here's what I think happened. You planned to secretly bring Bailey on our honeymoon, right? But then unexpectedly, she showed up with 5 kids in tow. And while you thought you could just take her around Jamaica without me finding out, the whole thing took a turn when Bailey found out we were staying in a luxury suite. She didn't like that and you only booked her a cheap room, so she decided it wasn't fair and stormed into our suite, with all her kids in tow. And when she barged in, surprise, surprise, I was there by myself and your little affair was exposed on the spot. After that, I guess you figured you might as well just dig in and act oblivious like, why can't I bring my childhood friend on our honeymoon? Pretty shameless, right?
What? How do you know all that in such detail?
Bailey's husband hired a private investigator. I pieced it all together from the investigator's report and what I personally witnessed that day. And judging from the look on your face, it sounds like I hit the nail on the head, didn't I?
Seriously?
Oh, and by the way, they're moving forward with DNA tests for Bailey's children, I hear?
Yeah?
And you've been asked to submit your own sample for the test too, haven't you?
Yeah?
I think we both know what at least some of those results are going to reveal. But either way, we're still moving forward with the divorce, so there's no going back for us. An attorney will be in touch soon to discuss the details. They'll handle things from here.
Heather, wait!
From now on, just go through with my lawyer if you need anything.
No, hold on, just let me...
I really don't have time for this, Keith. Goodbye.
Heather!
To begin with the conclusion of the DNA paternity test, it has been confirmed that, indeed, of the 5 children, the 2 younger ones are Keith's biological children. Keith and Bailey, despite having no romantic feelings for each other, have found themselves entangled in the web of circumstances that have led to this unexpected outcome. Over time, they have developed a relationship that, while not based on love, has included moments that might easily be misconstrued as such. Even while both we were engaged in other relationships, their interactions with one another had certain intimacy that was difficult to define. They have gone through periods of time where they maintained romantic relationships with others' partners. Yet, they also have a repeated pattern of behavior that could easily be labeled as crossing boundaries. The recent results of the DNA test have forced both of them to confront the reality of their relationship, something they may have previously brushed aside as mere friendship. As a result of this startling revelation, it appears that Keith and Bailey feel compelled to marry, not out of love or passion, but out of the necessity and the overwhelming sense of duty they feel towards their children. This decision to enter into a marriage is not taken lightly. It comes with the understanding that they must now face the consequences of their past actions together. The idea of marrying someone with whom they do not share a romantic connection is foreign to many, yet in this case, it is a practical solution to a complicated problem. However, the financial ramifications of their union are significant and daunting. They are already facing a barrage of claims for damages and child support from various parties, including past partners and family members. These financial demands have placed an enormous burden on them as they struggle to navigate their new reality. It is clear that the weight of these responsibilities is pushing them towards a life of severe financial hardship, as the costs associated with raising their children and managing their obligations seem overwhelming. Prospect of living under such a financial strain is not only stressful but also demoralizing. They found themselves in a situation where the very choices they made, choices that they thought would lead to freedom and happiness, have resulted in a life that can only be described as impoverished. The ramifications of their actions are hitting hard, and it is evident that the financial burden of their choices is something that they cannot easily escape, in addition to their own challenges. The situation regarding the children is equally complex. It seems that their respective grandparents have taken the initiative to discuss custody arrangements among themselves. These discussions are crucial, as they ultimately decided which children will be taken in by set of grandparents. This kind of arrangement is often fraught with its own set of complications, but it is necessary for the children's well-being. It is hoped that these grandparents will provide a stable environment that prioritizes the needs of the children during such a tumultuous time. The well-being of the children is a paramount concern, and there is a collective hope that they will not become entangled in the difficult lives of their parents that they are leading. The reality is that they could easily become casualties of their parents' mistake, facing challenges that no child should have to endure. It is a significant concern that they might be negatively affected by the dysfunctional relationship between Keith and Bailey, as well as the financial turmoil that ensues from it. The hope is that the grandparents can serve as stabilizing figures who can protect the children from the fallout of their parents' decision. When one reflects on the complexities of Keith and Bailey's relationship, it becomes evident that what started as a simple friendship has evolved into something far more intricate. Their connection, which lacks the romantic foundation typically associated with marriage, has been shaped by love, betrayal, and the responsibilities of parenthood. They might not have been intended to create a family under these circumstances, but the reality of their situation is undeniable and now has to be faced head-on. Moreover, the societal implications of their relationship are significant. In a world where traditional family structures are often idealized, Keith and Bailey's situation invites judgment and scrutiny. Many will view their decisions through a lens of moral righteousness, harshly critiquing their choices and the implications of their actions. They have inadvertently become representatives of a modern dilemma faced by many young couples: how to navigate relationships, responsibilities, and societal expectations without falling prey to the judgment of others. The financial strain that Keith and Bailey are under cannot be overstated. Many young couples find themselves caught in a web of financial difficulties, especially when they are unexpectedly thrust into parenthood. The obligations that come with raising children are often daunting and can feel insurmountable, particularly when the parents are unprepared for the reality of their responsibilities. As they prepare for their marriage, they must also come to terms with the reality of their financial situation. The notion of marriage, while traditionally viewed as a union of love, is for them now more about survival and stability. They are entering into this new chapter of their lives with the understanding that they must work together to overcome their challenges ahead. This does not mean that love cannot develop between them over time, but the initial motivation for their union is clearly rooted in practicality rather than romance. Meanwhile, the children, who are the true innocents in this situation, will have to navigate the complexities of their family dynamics. Growing up to be in a divided household can have lasting effects on children, shaping their perceptions of love, relationships, and family dynamics in ways that are often difficult to quantify. It is essential for the grandparents and other family members create a nurturing environment where the children can feel secure and supported amidst the chaos. It is crucial to recognize that the children will likely experience a range of emotions that they process their parents' relationship and the resulting changes in their lives. They may feel confusion, sadness, and even anger as they come to terms with the reality of their family situation. Providing them with emotional support and reassurance will be vital in helping them adjust to the new circumstances. The involvement of the grandparents is a positive step toward providing stability for the children. With the loving and supportive figures in their lives, the hope is that the children will be shielded from the negative impact of their parents' choices. It is a difficult journey for everyone involved, and the path forward will require careful navigation. In the end, the hope is that this situation serves as a cautionary tale for others who might find themselves in similar predicaments. Relationships can be incredibly complicated, and the decisions made in moments of passion or confusion can have far-reaching consequences that last a lifetime. Keith and Bailey's story is a reminder that it is essential to approach relationships with caution, to consider the potential outcomes, and to think critically about the responsibilities that come with love and companionship. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward in seeing you in the next one.
Mom? Oh, Megan, what's going on? I'm going to ask you directly. Is it true that you've been mistreating Avery? Huh? Avery? You mean Jason's Avery, right? Mistreatment? That's not possible. Oh, I'm not saying you definitely did it. Jason came to me furious, saying Mom's been mistreating my dear wife terribly. He was really upset. What? The kind, gentle woman I know would never do something like that. I can't believe it. That's how I felt when Jason told me. But even if something like mistreatment is happening, I can't just assume it's you without knowing the full story. Maybe there's something going on with Avery, too. I couldn't just ignore the possibility that she has her own issues in the situation. So instead of staying confused and upset, I decided to just ask you directly what happened. I see. Well, thank you for not just blindly believing Jason's one-sided story. So, did something happen? It's only been 2 months since you started living together, right? Mom, what happened? I can't forgive Avery. You can't forgive her? For you to say something like that, it must be something serious. She's been throwing away everything that reminds me of your grandparents and your father. What? She threw away those keepsakes? Yes, things that belong to your grandparents and your father. What? Not just one thing, but several items? Yes, that's right. Wait, so that includes things like the fountain pen your dad inherited from your grandfather, the one he's always treasured? Yes. Even though I don't really use the fountain pen anymore, it's a memento I wanted to keep. I kept trying to explain how important it was to me, but she just wouldn't understand. And instead of apologizing or even acknowledging it, she said, "Do you have proof I threw them away?" While I was out working part-time, Avery was alone at home. Almost everything that disappeared during that time has to have been her doing. So there's no physical evidence to prove it, right? But despite being a stay-at-home wife, she doesn't help with the housework at all. Wait, Avery's not working? She asked to live together so she could save up for a house of her own, right?
I've heard she doesn't help with the housework, but she's actually calling herself a housewife while doing nothing?
The other day, I couldn't help but say to her, a little sarcastically, "You're great at throwing away other people's memories, but you never do any cleaning." I think that's what Jason's been hearing about, which is why he's so upset.
Wow, seriously? I should hear Avery's side of that story too, but I agree that I should have had solid proof before confronting her. At this point, it's just too much.
Oh, and after dinner tonight, I realized I needed to tell you, but the books you left at my house for safekeeping have all been thrown away as well.
What? I was planning to pick them up when I moved next month.
I guess she thought they were mine because I'd put them in my closet. I never thought she'd go through my closet, so I'm sorry about that.
Well, let's hear Avery's side of things before jumping to conclusions. Avery, good evening. Are you free right now?
Oh, Megan.
Jason told me that you've been complaining about how your mother's been treating you badly. I'm really wondering what's been going on.
Oh, that's right. Can you listen to me for a moment? I don't want to speak badly of your mom, but it's just gotten so bad that I want you to know what's happening right now.
What's going on?
Well, you know I'm a stay-at-home wife, right? So I've been working really hard at the housework for my in-laws. I even did a big cleaning just the other day, but your mom kept complaining, saying I wasn't doing it properly, but I was doing it. Honestly, I think she's just saying these things because she wants to pick on me.
When you say big cleaning, what exactly do you mean?
I mostly cleaned out old, ugly stuff that I'd never use and the books that were shoved in boxes in the closet. But even then, she's complaining. Doesn't that just scream mistreatment from her? You have to say something to her. I bet if she knew her own daughter found out, she'd stop acting like this.
By the way, did you call a recycling collection service or something for all of it?
Huh?
In your area, isn't Wednesday for non-burnable trash, Monday and Thursday for burnable trash, and Friday there's no garbage collection? Your big cleaning, based on what Jason was complaining about, must have happened on Friday. And since today is Sunday, that means the garbage collection hasn't come yet, right?
Oh. Well, I don't think that's related to the mistreatment, though.
Well, I guess not. Never mind. Oh, I just remembered. I was thinking about checking out a flea market app.
Huh?
I check it out regularly because sometimes I find good things. Right now I'm looking for a fountain pen and some reference books.
Oh, I see.
About what you just said, I'll talk to my mom first and see what she has to say.
Oh, okay, thanks. I really appreciate it.
I found several other items being sold from the same account, too.
It was being sold?
Yeah. I thought I should report it to the app administration, so I was just about to do that, but just before I could, the listing got canceled.
Right before?
When I went to the account's main page, it looked like they were in the middle of canceling all the listings. The number kept going down, and in the end, there were no items listed anymore.
Oh, no.
Well, at least we don't have to worry about someone else buying it now. Oh, and I took a screenshot, so I have proof.
That's a relief, but... So it was Avery, huh?
Probably. The account name was a name similar to her real name, and the background of the listing photos seemed to be the wallpaper from her house. And then, right when I mentioned that I checked the flea market app regularly and was about to look, the listings got canceled.
I see. So now we just need physical evidence.
Yes, we need to find where the stolen items are now and dig a bit deeper to understand why Avery went as far as to steal and try to sell them.
So what should I do next?
Mom, do you have your part-time job tomorrow morning as usual? If you don't stop anywhere, you can be back in 30 minutes, right?
Yeah, I work from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., so I'll leave the house at 7:30 a.m. and get back at around 12:30 p.m. It'll be the usual schedule.
Can you take the day off suddenly?
It's not a busy period, so I think it'll be fine if I call in the morning and let them know.
If my guess is right...
Do you have a plan?
Well, yeah. Since both you and Jason will be home tonight, it'll be hard to do anything. So after both of you leave for work tomorrow, that'll be when it's our chance.
So tomorrow morning, when Avery will be home alone?
Exactly. So I need you to act like you're going to your part-time job as usual and leave the house. After that, we'll meet up. I'll pick you up at the first corner after you leave. Oh, and I'll rent a car so nobody gets suspicious.
You've really thought this through.
Speed is crucial for these things. All right, that's the plan.
Got it. Megan, good morning. I've just left the house.
Good morning, Mom. I'm already at the corner.
Got it.
Avery, good morning. Megan, good morning. Is there something you need? Something I need? Oh, that's actually my line, you know. Huh? I thought if anything was going to happen, it would be when my mom and Jason left for work and you'd be alone at home. But I never expected that while your family was out, a strange man would be coming and going into your house. What? I haven't done anything like that. You can come over right now. There's not even a trace of anything like that left.
Well, today you were just coming to pick up some things, weren't you?
It's just that yesterday was so recent. So I thought you'd skip today's fun in case anyone might suspect something, which I assumed was your reason for skipping. Is that what's going on? Wait a minute. You're imagining all these terrible things about me.
I'm not imagining anything, Avery. This is real.
How can you be sure of that? Are you planning on helping with the bullying too? I'll go straight to Jason with all of this.
Well, your boyfriend was seen coming out of your house carrying stolen items that had been hidden somewhere inside.
Huh?
My husband restrained him.
What? Are you serious?
Yes, my husband. Do you remember him?
The mixed martial artist?
Oh, don't worry. I didn't let him get hurt, and no punches were thrown. Our 6'10" tall, muscle-bound man just gave him a little glare, and the guy immediately confessed everything.
He confessed? Wait, what do you mean?
He admitted that the stolen items had been cleverly hidden in your room and that the entire thing was about trying to get money for cheating dates and trips with you. It was all about funding those activities.
Wait, this can't be true.
Also, we've been keeping an eye on your parents' front door, so trying to run away now would be pointless.
Keeping an eye on them?
Yes, we've had your front door under observation, so even if you try to escape, it won't work.
But how did you know about the items? How did you find out about all of this?
Plus, we've also identified your flea market app account.
You're kidding, right?
It's not a joke. We even took a screenshot before you canceled the listings.
How did you find out?
Well, when I was casually talking about checking the flea market, you suddenly rushed to cancel the listings. It was at that exact moment when I happened to catch you in the act of removing them.
But my account doesn't have any proof.
I'm pretty sure one of the items you listed was a fountain pen. That pen, which belonged to my grandfather, was passed down to my father and then to my mother. It's a custom-made, one-of-a-kind item created by the craftsmen of the time.
One of a kind? I don't believe it.
The design is so unique, I knew it immediately when I saw it in the listing photos.
You didn't recognize the brand, but it was that item, wasn't it?
There were also books in the cardboard boxes in my mom's closet. Those were books I had temporarily stored at my parents' house to prepare for my move next month.
Wait, really?
I've read those books so many times that I know every little scratch or stain on them. That's how I recognized them immediately when I saw the pictures you posted of the listings.
Those weren't your mom's things?
No, those were mine. They were temporarily stored at my mom's place while I was preparing for my move, and I was planning to take them with me. That's how I knew for sure when I saw them listed. It was the exact same set.
You didn't even recognize them?
No, and that's not all. I checked with Jason, and he confirmed that the account was yours. He found the computer was still logged into it when he looked.
Oh, well, I guess I must have forgotten to log out after using my computer when my phone's battery died while I was listing items. That's when my husband must have found out about it.
Yes, Jason went to work this morning as usual, but I left him a voicemail explaining everything. He said he'd check it in his free time. It's only a matter of time before he knows the entire story.
What is this? This is unreal.
Well, I think it's time we stop this little exchange. We've gone on long enough.
What do you mean, stop this exchange?
The reason I've been dragging out this conversation is that I've been buying time.
Buying time?
Yes, and now that your parents are arriving...
My parents?
Yes, they're here and they'll be taking care of things.
Wait, hold on. What are you talking about? I'm not going to wait. You've had your chance. Wait, what do you mean? Now, as I said, your parents are here and they'll be dealing with you shortly. No, wait, I can explain. I don't know what's going on, but I didn't do anything wrong. Please, listen to me. Sorry, Avery, but I'm not going to listen. This is done now. Wait, no, please. I'm sure you won't be able to run away. I've already made sure of that. You can't do this. Sorry, but it's already too late. Your fate is in motion now. We've got the evidence. It's over. You can't possibly. No, please, just hear me out. I've already given you the chance to explain yourself, but now it's time for you to face the consequences. There's nothing left for you to say. Your parents are going to be here shortly, and you won't be able to escape. Please, you can't do this to me. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I'm sorry, Avery, but there's no turning back now. Your actions have caught up with you. Wait, you're not going to tell my parents, are you? Please, I'll do anything. I'll fix everything. Just don't let them know. It's too late for that. Everything is already set in motion. Wait, no, please. I'll never do anything like this again, I swear. I don't want to hear it, Avery. The truth is out now. You've been caught, and there is no way around it. Your parents are going to find out. There's no escaping this. Wait, no, you can't do this. I beg you, don't tell them. Please, I'm begging you. I'm afraid it's already done. Goodbye, Avery. Wait, no, please, I can explain. I really can. Please, just listen to me. Sorry, Avery, but you've run out of time. My older brother, who had always referred to my sister-in-law as my cute wife in the most affectionate and possessive way possible, had a complete shift in demeanor once he discovered the affair. It wasn't just that he was hurt, but rather that the entire foundation of his trust in her came crashing down. His mood seemed to plummet immediately. You could almost hear the change in his energy. A sound like a sudden exhale or deflation of some inflated balloon. It was as if his emotions had hit rock bottom in an instant. Before this discovery, he was full of life, always glowing when he spoke about his wife, doting on her as if she was the center of his universe. His love for her seemed to be unshakable, and he was so proud of the life they had built together. But the moment the truth about her infidelity came out, everything changed. He didn't scream or yell, but his response was chilling in its calmness. There was a moment of stunned silence, and then, like a flipping switch, he switched into a state of cold, mechanical resolution. The affair was a devastating blow, and instead of wallowing in it, he took decisive action. My brother wasn't one to back down from a challenge, and this situation was no exception. With all the formality and precision one might expect in a business deal, he began the legal proceedings for divorce, filing the papers with a dispassionate determination. His focus was on the future, on what needed to be done, and the emotional fallout was something that had to be dealt with later. He didn't show any signs of seeking revenge or displaying bitterness, but there was an underlying hardness in his approach that told me how deeply wounded he truly was. The divorce and the claim for emotional distress were moving forward without delay. He was going through the motions as though this was just another task that needed to be completed, methodical, efficient, but utterly devoid of the warmth and affection that had once defined their marriage. What was once love was now reduced to legal steps and financial transactions, and that stark reality was evident in every document he signed. The shock of the affair was compounded by an even more troubling revelation: family theft. We learned that my ex-sister-in-law had sold off items from our family's inheritance. These weren't just random objects, they were heirlooms passed down through generations, priceless artifacts that carried memories of our ancestors and symbolized the rich history of our family. To think that these items had just been sold without a second thought, without even a whisper of consultation, was more than just a betrayal of my brother. It was a betrayal of the entire family's legacy. Unfortunately, the law wasn't on our side in this case. When it came to theft within a family, it turned out that there were no criminal penalties that could be applied. The legal system wasn't set up to punish family members for actions like this. It was an incredibly frustrating realization, as we felt this should have been a clear-cut case of criminal activity. But the law saw it differently. Instead, we were left with the option of filing a civil suit for damages, claiming compensation for the lost items that had already been sold. While it was a relief that we could at least take some legal action, it felt inadequate given the gravity of the situation. So my brother proceeded with the civil suit, focusing on the financial losses that had been incurred. But just as we thought we were getting some semblance of closure, something far more disturbing came to light. It wasn't just the affair and the theft, there were other crimes, other wrongdoings that my ex-sister-in-law had been hiding.
This wasn't just a simple betrayal, it was a web of deceit that had been carefully constructed and kept hidden from everyone, including my brother. As the investigation continued, more secrets surfaced. The affair was just the beginning. There were debts that she had been hiding, even more significant financial issues that had remained in the shadows. It became clear that she had been playing a dangerous game all along, manipulating everyone around her for her own gain. She had lied, stolen, and betrayed, and it was only when everything began to unravel that the full scope of her actions became apparent. This wasn't just about marriage falling apart, it was about a person who had been deceiving everyone for years, and who now had to face the consequences of her actions. The more we discovered, the more it became clear that this wasn't just a personal failure, it was a criminal failure. In the end, it was revealed that my ex-sister-in-law and her lover had to bear the full weight of their actions. They were both responsible for the debts, the emotional damages, and the financial ruin they had caused. There was no escaping the fallout. They couldn't hide behind lies any longer. Everything they had done was exposed, and they were left to deal with the consequences. As for the compensation claims, it turned out that my ex-sister-in-law's parents had taken on the financial burden. Their daughter had caused the mess, but they were the ones who ended up paying for it. It wasn't clear whether they did it out of guilt, obligation, or some sense of family duty, but they stepped in and covered the costs of the legal proceedings, the alimony, and the compensation for the stolen heirlooms. It was a sad reality, but one that many families find themselves in when their children make poor decisions. My brother didn't ask for his help. He didn't want to be a burden on anyone else. But there was no other option, and so the financial responsibility shifted to the parents of both my ex-sister-in-law and her lover. Meanwhile, my ex-sister-in-law, who had caused so much chaos and heartbreak, was facing a different kind of punishment. The court had ruled that she would be required to work off her debt under strict supervision. She would be made to repay the financial damages she had caused through hard labor. It was a grueling sentence, but it was the only option available to her. She would have to live under constant surveillance, working day in and day out to pay off the debts that had piled up due to her actions. But even with this arrangement, it was clear that her life would never be the same. No amount of hard work could erase the damage she had done. She had ruined her marriage, betrayed her family, and lost the trust of everyone who had ever cared about her. It was unlikely that she would ever be able to rebuild any of those relationships, and even if she worked off her debts, the stain of her actions would forever remain. Her future was now uncertain, and she was left to face the reality of her actions that had sealed her fate. Her lover, too, would have to deal with the consequences. There was no escape for either of them. They had made their choices, and now they would have to live with them. While they might have once imagined a future together, it was clear that they would both struggle to rebuild their lives. The damage was too deep and the wounds too fresh for either of them to heal anytime soon. As for my brother, the emotional toll of the entire situation was something that he would carry with him for the rest of his life. He had once been a man full of love and optimism, but now he was scarred by the betrayal of the person he had trusted most. While the legal proceedings had settled the financial aspects of the case, the emotional scars were something that could never be erased. It was a painful journey, but one that he would have to walk alone. Looking ahead, it was clear that no one involved in this mess would ever truly move on. The betrayal, the theft, and the lies had left a permanent mark on all of us. While some may have hoped for a return to normalcy, the reality was that things could never go back to the way they were. Trust had been shattered, relationships had been broken, and lives had been irreparably changed.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.